Good morning!
Sound of our teen sports listeners, I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m. Hey, Santa Barbara, you're tuned into Teen Sports Radio, the show that's all about athletes, attitude, and awesome life skills for our teens. I'm Erica, your Queen of Teen, bringing you the stories, tips, and tools to help crush it in sports, school, and life. Whether you're chasing goals, breaking records, or just trying to keep your sneakers clean, we've got your back. Okay, let's all get inspired today. Let's get moving. All right, and let's have a little fun along the way, because on this show, you got this. I stole that from you, Dominique. Dominique goes, you got this. I like it. In the house, we got Dominique Hackett, Christine Marie, owner of A View from the Deck. Of course, Alex Ramirez, Fit for Life 805, our producer, Reverend Dr. D, a.k.a. Richard Dugan. We also got Scott Ellsworth. He's in the house. He's going to be doing a segment. Of course, we can't complete the show without a hooga. And Don Santos will be joining us a little later. And then maybe, hopefully, a longtime co-host, but he's in and out of appointments, in between treating. He's my personal acupuncturist, Dr. Brian Folk. Hopefully he will get a chance to pop in today. So let's start from the beginning. Like we always like to do, is give a little love. Dominique, who you want to give some love to?
I want to give love to our farmers. I went to go pick up our box from Something Good Organic.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the quantity of vegetables and fruit, we get the large box.
Right.
But the variety is just fabulous. We had a huge melon. So a shout out to Carolyn at Something Good Organic.
Sweet. Alex, who do you want to love?
There's this little guy. Well, I wouldn't call it little guy. There's a guy that sells strawberries right off the freeway. Farming.
There you go.
From Ventura.
Nice.
So give a shout out to him because he's got the best strawberries in town. It's right by the hospital off of Pueblo.
Oh, cool.
Right by that bridge where you come down. Everyone walks or rides down right there.
Nice.
Great.
Oh,
great
fantastic. Tastes like candy. I love fresh strawberries.
Dark red, you know?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Christine, who are you thinking about?
I want to give a shout out to Brett from Brett Books. He has a website called giveyourbooks.com. And if you have books hanging around in your house that you want to get rid of, but you don't want to, he will come and pick them up and take them, and he'll either sell them or he'll get them to where they can be most useful in their next incarnation. So I really like Brett. I have him in my phone as Brett Books, but his name is Brett, and it's giveyourbooks.com, and it's great.
Wow. I know Dr. D's probably got 3,000 books if he hasn't already given them away.
Well, I can give a shout out.
Yeah.
I know that Dr. D was planning on giving some books, I think, to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. Oh,
so
nice.
A shout out to Planned Parenthood. We really, really appreciate all the wonderful things that they're doing for the health of our community and teens. If you have questions, that is a great organization to go talk to.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Just having a conversation. If you're uncomfortable, and maybe the safe space for you maybe isn't your parents, but maybe you've got a grandma or an uncle. It's important for families to create their inner networks, and it's all good because it does take a village. And Dominique 5 kids. Different kids come in and out of your life, and sometimes there's a connection, and sometimes But I've known you forever. You've never had that problem, about your kids reaching out to somebody other than family, because you have so many. Your kids have so many extensions of the family that's not blood.
Well, I have 5 children, and I tried to make sure that my kids all had someone who was looking after them. I literally call them their godparent,
right,
or their godparents, even though we didn't necessarily do the official Catholic ceremony or something. But it's more like, hey, this person is in your corner and is going to be an advocate for you, because you can't always talk to your parents.
That's true. I mean, some parents just don't want to touch on certain things. I know my kids, they went to Catholic school. When they got to the 5th grade, I had 2 boys. Yeah, I wasn't going to go there. I'm like, talk to your father. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, that wasn't the conversation that I was going to directly have. And not only that, I wasn't prepared that the class was going to read the last 2 chapters of the book and not start from the beginning. And I didn't understand why. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready for that whole conversation.
So who are you going to give a shout out to in the community?
Well, I've got it. I had a little speed bump last week, but I got to say that the coconut panna cotta, okay, that David recommended at Cottage Hospital, okay, is fabulous. So I don't want anybody to go to the hospital, but if you do go to the hospital, because let me tell you something, their food at Cottage Hospital is sustainable, maintainable. I mean, 100% grass-fed. It's just like, it's part of the Healthcare Without Harm program. You have no idea how amazing. It's 5-star. I mean, I thought I was going to Trey Loon in Montecito, like for my first selection. I mean, it was amazing. And it's like you're talking to a concierge, person. And if you don't order, they'll knock on your door. And then they'd ask you what you would like, in person. It was mind blowing. It was like really cool.
So but everything, Cottage Hospital.
Cottage Hospital. And everybody who works there, it's a really loving community. It's really nice because it's like, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. No. Thank you. There's so much love and thank you inside that hospital. And in Goleta, because I had to stop there first. Okay. Then I ended up at Cottage. But there's so much love. We do love, and it's really nice, and it does heal, and everything's at the end of the day everything is good. So I just really appreciate the how this community has embraced our medical system, and we're all extremely blessed and fortunate. But we're also blessed and fortunate to have Christine Marie, giving us an astro view of what's going on. We're going to get to that right after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back. This is Christine Marie with a view from the deck. And we're going to look up right now and talk about where the sun is. The sun is still in Leo. So that's actually where the sun lives. The Leo is the sign of the sun. It's at its home place in Leo, and the moon, funnily enough, is in Cancer, which is kind of where the moon's home place is. The moon,
a lot of water.
A lot of water. Yeah. So we've got fire and water connecting. The moon is waning. It's Tuesday, September 19th. The moon is waning right now. It's going, which means that it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Like waxing is when it goes to full, and waning is when it goes to the new moon. And the new moon is coming on August 23rd. So if you have any intentions or anything that you want to build or create in your life, get ready and start thinking about how you want to put that wish on the dark moon, the new moon, and then watch as the moon waxes and how your intentions start to build as well. That's a nice way to look at it. And then the only other aspect I wanted to talk about right now is that the moon in Cancer is conjunct with with Jupiter in Cancer, and Jupiter is the biggest planet, the most expansive planet. It's a planet of good luck and movement and it's basically, this says, the little app that I have, which is called astrosofa.com, kind of tells us everything that's going on right in the moment. And it just says that it's a really great, a conjunction means they're very close to each other. They're like right next to each other. So they're having a really nice conversation. So the moon in Cancer and Jupiter in Cancer, they're having a good conversation and a good emotional conversation. So it's good for social success. And the Jupiter's almost always good when it's moving forward in socializing and in finances. And it's really just a really powerful kind of lots of high energy planet. And when it comes around, it's usually fairly good luck. So that's what I have to say about what's going on right now in the sky.
Nice.
And I wanted to do a reading. Do something from the deck. Does anybody want to have a card pulled?
Yes. We're going to pull a card for Erica.
Oh, for Erica. Okay, Erica, let me know when to stop shuffling.
Oh, wow. I didn't expect Erica today, but all right. Let's see. 1,000, 2, 1. Stop.
Okay, stop. Top, bottom, or the middle?
Middle.
Top of the bottom, bottom of the top?
Top.
Top of the bottom, is that what you said?
Top of the bottom, yes.
It is, okay. This is the 5. Is it the 5 or the 4? The 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups is all about letting go of emotional baggage.
Oh, that's perfect.
Letting it flow down the Sarasvati River, right? Do you want to pick another one to find out what was the past?
Oh, sure. The past. What's my options?
Let's say the top or the bottom or the middle.
Top.
Top. Okay. So the top is that is, so the past is about, it's the 10 of Cups, a lot of emotion, a lot of water. The 10 of Cups is about emotional maturity. So it would say to me that basically that you put your big girl panties on so that you could let go of this, so that, what's happening for you right now, to let go of this old emotional baggage. It was perfectly timed. You were ready for it, and you put your big girl panties on.
That's
You're
right.
in emotional maturity.
And then I grabbed that broom out of the closet. That's what I did. I was being me because everybody else is taken.
Yep.
That's
and now,
right.
And I'm just going to pull from the very bottom because that's what I want because it's the card I see. And that is the Universe card, which is about starting a whole new soul cycle. You're finishing something major, and you're letting go of something huge, and you're going to get to rest a little bit, and then you're going to start on a whole new soul cycle.
Watch out. He's back. Yeah. That's right. Jackson never left, but on a soul level. That's what I'm saying.
On a soul level.
Right.
We always get chances. The beauty of the tarot is there's 2 decks in the tarot, the major arcana and the minor arcana. The major arcana is actually 22 cards that each are like a major archetype in every human being's life. And it starts with the Fool, who takes a leap of faith and then goes through 21 steps. And they're just major, I like to say major cornerstones. And then the minor arcana is almost like the playing deck, the modern playing deck of cards, right? Cups are hearts, spades are swords, clubs are wands, and diamonds are pentacles or coins. But there's one extra card in there. So there's one extra face card in there. And actually in each one of so there's for me, it's princess, prince, queen, king, instead of just knight, queen, king. There's also in other decks, it's a page, knight, king, queen. So yeah. So there's I
have a question for you. Kids, I was so blessed because my mom's so alternative, and so I just heard and I experienced things at such a young age where people might grasp on some of this, like when they're older, maybe better to wrap your brain around it. But I did all this stuff when I was very, very, very young. So if you wanted to approach a teen, like a high school, whatever like that, is there something, because I was always told that you resonate towards a deck. The deck almost chooses you, or how does that all work? Like, would you say, go ahead.
Some people say, I've heard it said that someone gives you your first deck, right?
Okay.
But, I have had people give me decks my whole life, and I went on buying decks and looking for decks. And I didn't become I feel like a really good reader until I found the deck that speaks all my languages. And it wasn't given to me, but I was given a reading. I was given a reading by that at a fair I was working. I used to work with Star Flower Essences, and I was at a trade show, and there was a tarot lady next to me. She's like, "Come sit down, I'm going to read for you." And she pulled out this, the card, one of the deck that I work with now, called the Sun and Moon Tarot. And the very first card she dropped down was the Phoenix card. And I had just had a really powerful dream about a phoenix, and I just started to cry. And this deck it speaks all my languages. I love the colors. I love the way that it works. And so it's like, when there are so many decks out there now, there are decks, just thousands of decks. And so I think it's good to look at the main decks, the Rider-Waite deck, and to learning to really understand the decks from the the origination point, but then to look for decks that really speak your languages, that really make
so how did you, because you've been doing this forever, how did you, because did your mom
when I was a teenager, my mom used to give psychic phone readings, right? So So I have it in my lineage, right? I remember at my senior graduation party, all night party, there was a lady who was a stone reader, and you would throw stones on this thing. And I walked into her I don't know, her little tent, and she's like, "You are so psychic." And I was like, "No, I'm not. My mom's psychic. Leave me alone. Don't." But I finally got into it and was okay with like really, I found my own journey probably in college. Or after college, there's certain things that took me on journeys where I met certain people. Like I listened to the Moody Blues albums. I don't know if you guys have listened to Moody Blues, but they're very spiritual.
Oh yeah.
And it really spoke to me, and I made a friend, and who knew a lot about stuff like that. And so it's like things just unfolded very, on its own way. And I started doing trainings like after college. I learned Reiki, which is energy work, and then after that, I did some acupressure massage where I learned the Chinese meridian theory. And then after that, I went to it's called the Academy of Intuitive Studies, where I learned about chakras and auras and groundings and past life and all that stuff. So I did a lot of training around that. And then I was a Waldorf kindergarten teacher, and there's an esoteric part of that. And then so I just kept taking one step after another step and learning. And I really didn't, so when I do tarot, it's about taking all of the learning. That's why these cards, they speak my language, and they speak several languages. I worked at Pacifica, which was Jungian and depth psychology. And so there's
You've gone to the Amazon too, right?
I've been to the Amazon. I've been to Switzerland. I've been to South Africa. That was a really powerful, place when I lived there for about 7 months. And so I've traveled, and I've picked up different things and learned so much from other, it's come a long way. And it wasn't really until, I don't know, 45 till I was 45 that I started. I think I got this deck when I was 41. And it took from 41 to 45 to really, like when I got this deck, I was like, "Oh, can I read for you? Can I read for you?" And I would read for anybody, anywhere. Let me read. Can I read cards? Do you like tarot? Are you afraid of it? Can I read for you? I mean, I
know
don't
you did that at my son's party. It was just awesome. Thank you. That was our very first experience. A bunch of college kids. It was great. That has known each other since preschool. It was wonderful.
Yeah, and so what it does, what the tarot does for me is it lets me take everything I've learned, everything I know, everything I've seen, and it gives me this neutral playing ground to offer that. So when people pull cards, I have stories with each card. There are different things that come up. And I don't, a lot of people will get into other people's business or, but I don't. I read the cards. And if someone wants to know about somebody else or something else, I just kind of say, well, why do you want to know that? Well, this card says this. Does that resonate anything for you? Because I don't, I was always, because I was so intuitive and sort of what you would call an empath, where I could feel other people's feelings, and I would always just automatically try to heal everybody in a room when I went in it. I had to stop that. I had to start protecting my own energy, and I had to learn, to not get up in people's business. So I work really hard not to do that. Sometimes
you're super magic. Let me do this because we got Sky's in the waiting room. We got Dr. D said we got to close. But how do we get a hold of you?
Oh, you can call me 805-350-2705. You can catch me on Facebook. I have a view from the deck. Eventually I'm going to start doing some online readings. I just haven't done much. I've been trying to get my technical stuff around, but one of those two things.
Hey, loving your work and loving your service and loving you being co-host and part of our family. All right. Sky, I see you. You're up next after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Welcome back to Teen Sports Radio, everyone. This is Sky Ellsworth, and I'm a student at Life Chiropractic College West. And today, we are going to be talking about the masculine and feminine energetics. And this is one of those topics that has a tendency to be a little bit controversial. So I want to dive full on into the controversy and discuss a little bit about what that's like and how the masculine and the feminine present biologically, energetically, and how they'll present actually physically within our spine and our nervous system, and how our understanding of that can help us to function optimally. So, diving right into this, but before we really get into the meat, I just want to remind everybody that everything that we talk about relates to where you are individually as a unique person, as a unique soul on your journey, and that it's really important to have an understanding of who that is, of what your purpose is, what your mission is, what your goals are, where you're going, how your nervous system operates through the triad of change, what season you're currently experiencing, whether your nervous system interprets information from the outside looking in or the inside out, what stage of healing you're at. These are all things that we've talked about on previous episodes of Teen Sports Radio. So please go back, find us on SoundCloud, and listen to those recordings and make sure that you're up to speed. The masculine and the feminine energetics is a part of that, is a part of all of these different structural systems that we can use to understand how we're interfacing with our world and our reality. So the masculine and the feminine are really unique energies, and they're distinct energies. It's really interesting culturally nowadays because we have a tendency to get these mixed up a little bit. A lot of what goes on in the cultural field is an attempt to create equality, to create balance. And some of that equality is also between the masculine and feminine energetics. Anytime you try to create balance or equality, you create net neutral. An energy neutral state is never going to experience growth or change or things getting better. It will only create a stasis. Whenever there's a stasis and there's no opportunity for growth, eventually the system will start to degrade. The same is true when it comes to our gender roles. The masculine and the feminine energies are important energetics. We each have masculine and feminine energies within us. Some of us were born biologically one way or biologically a different way, and then we may express a particular energetic more so than another. When that energetic that we're expressing, whether it's masculine or feminine, if that is in conflict with our inherent biology, there is a problem in our nervous system, a problem with how our hormones are regulating. All of that hormone cascade affects everything. It affects sleep. It affects heart rate. It affects longevity. It affects how well you digest and assimilate nutrients from food. It has to do with it affects your relationship to others. What makes you happy? What makes you sad? Everything. That's not to say that you can be an individual who is experiencing one biological body and you're experiencing an energetic that is the complete opposite of that, and that's wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that when you have an understanding of the energetic that your system is biologically supposed to have, was born to have biologically, when you have an understanding of what that is, you can align yourself and understand what that energetic is to optimize your nervous system functioning and to allow yourself to transcend net neutral. It's a little bit challenging in today's society because of the cultural field, and it's important to acknowledge the cultural field for what it is and acknowledge that you are not a part of it. To be able to separate yourself from the cultural field, to be able to acknowledge what it is and accept it for what it is, and then let it go and recognize that you're a soul and that the cultural field is a weak field and the soul field is a real field. What is it that you feel is right and wrong? Not what society says is right and wrong. Not what you see on TV, not what you see on the movies. Put your hand on your heart if you're an internal, and again, go back and listen to recordings to understand what that is. If you're an external, put your hand above you out in space and just really tune in to what feels right to you. Does it feel right to Does it feel right in your cultural field, the cultural field that you're living in, what you're seeing and what you're hearing? Do these things inherently feel right? Do they resonate with you? Or does it feel a little strange or unfamiliar? Do you feel your energy collapse a little bit? Or maybe you feel your energy lift. I'm not here to tell you that it's one way or another. I just want to bring awareness to the energetic of the cultural field so that you can separate from it and start to understand and really feel what is really you. What is the innate, inborn reaction that you're having to something? And then be able to separate yourself from that and start to identify, wow, what does the feminine energy do and what does the masculine energy do? The masculine energy is a very driving force. It sees an outcome and it has a one-track mind toward that outcome. The feminine energetic is very different. The feminine energetic is very nurturing. The feminine is a little bit more all over the place. And the reason is because not only do we have to have the direct masculine, but we have to have the feminine that can see multiple sides of things. Through society, through hormones and food, through the things on TV, on the internet, everything that we get from the cultural field, the masculine and feminine energetics get a little bit mixed up within all of us. So it's really important to be able to separate out, again, the cultural field and be able to start to acknowledge, okay, this is the masculine, this is the feminine, this is how I express the masculine, this is how I express the feminine, and this is what feels right to me. This is the energetic that I feel the most in alignment with. And this will reflect in your neurology and in your spine. Females will often have the curve in the low back. It's called a lumbar lordosis. It's fun to say. That curve in the low back will be more pronounced than in a male. In a male, it will be a little flatter. Well, what happens if you have the opposite? What happens if you have someone that is biologically one way, but then they're expressing an energetic that's the opposite? Well, if you're a female and you're expressing more of the or if you're biologically female and you're expressing more of the masculine, your low back might be a little bit flat. Well, that inhibits the amount of progesterone and estrogen that your system is getting. That can lead to a lot of fertility issues later on, or currently, depending on your age. And then for males, it's different. For males that are experiencing more of a feminine energetic, their low back might cave in a little bit more. You might get more of that lumbar lordosis. And when that happens, testosterone is impeded. That ability to make direct decisions is limited. And it's really important that there's a dance between the masculine and the feminine energy. But the masculine needs to be allowed to be masculine, and the feminine needs to be allowed to be feminine. And again, that's within all of us. We each have a masculine and a feminine. But the idea is that we honor the masculine and feminine energies within each of us as distinct energies without trying to blur them to get them to equal net zero. When we do that, again, we are energy neutral and we will never experience change. So I really want this to serve as a message to all of you, a message to get in touch with yourself. Not that there's anything wrong with the way that you are, but a message to understand what conditioning you may be experiencing based on the cultural field, and to be able to separate yourself from that and start to connect with the masculine and feminine energy inside of you that you resonate with, what feels right to you and not to anybody else. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back with more after these messages.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hey, Teen Sports Radio listeners, this is Alex Ramirez with Fit for Life 805. And so today I'm talking about a back-to-school breakfast protein recipe. That's a mouthful. But I'm going to give you everything, the whole recipe. It should give you a great jumpstart to your day. And it's a rolled oats or overnight oats recipe. So you make this the night before in a mason jar. It shouldn't take you more than maybe 5 minutes, give or take, depending on how many ingredients and how sophisticated and mixed up you want to get it. So here we go. And I'm going to give you all the vitamins, the calories, the nutritional values as I go. So we start off, you can do a half cup of milk, raw, 2%, whatever you want. Just if you don't want to do raw milk, oat milk, but it does decrease the protein and some of the vitamin C and calcium you get. So, you can kind of substitute as you go. So we do a half cup of milk. Then you do a quarter cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, half cup of frozen blueberries. Now, the frozen blueberries is a great source of vitamin C. Half a banana, which has potassium, magnesium, and some vitamin B6. 2 tablespoons of rolled oats. I like the gluten-free version. 1 tablespoon of nut butter, which has some fiber, some healthy fats that help with absorption of vitamins A, D, E, and K. It also helps support your immune system and brain health, which is very important for school, right? You're going to be studying and trying to work on your memory and being focused in class. And then from there, a serving of either vanilla or chocolate protein powder. You can do vegan, you can do whey, depending on your body, what you like, what you don't like. I like the vegan option. It's a brown rice hemp option. It's easier on my stomach. I can't really do whey all that much. My body doesn't respond very well to it. And then a pinch of sea salt, and not a lot, very little. You never want to exceed 1 teaspoon of salt a day. That's, that stay just below that. Pinches of that on vegetables or even in your smoothie to help give you a little electrolyte mineral balance, right? Because it is part of that electrolyte. So it helps with cellular balance, blood sugar, and without adequate salt, your body would have a hard time transmitting electrical signals. So it's important, your brain sending signals for movement, thinking, processing, and that's critical for school. So all that combined together, you throw all that together, blend it all, in a mason jar, mix it all up however you see fit. You could just, I recommend mixing that milk, powder, oats kind of mixture, get it to really, absorb and mix well. Then you can finish with all the fruit on top. So it's kind of however you want it, but play with it. And you can interchange the flavors with different fruits, different types of vanilla or chocolate. I like chocolate. Chocolate banana is my go-to. I love that.
Yum.
Chocolate banana with peanut butter. Oh, that's all. And some hemp seeds. Mine is a little different, but this is just perfect for you for school. You eat it when you need to, whenever you feel hungry. You take it with you to school. It'll stay cold for a couple hours. You can have it around maybe 10 if you're not one of those people who wakes up hungry. I do wake up hungry. I'm always hungry. That's the problem. So,
oh my God, this sounds so delicious. So you don't have to cook it.
No, that's what's great about it. Kids, it's real easy. You don't have to do a gas grill. You don't have to make eggs. You don't have to do a blender. Just get everything, throw it all in a jar, mix it well, throw it in the fridge, let it sit overnight, and you grab and go in the morning. Grab a spoon, maybe a napkin, and then take that with you. Grab the jar, and you're good to go for school. You don't have to do any prep in the morning. It's an easy.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum.
So 597 calories, 56 grams of protein, 62 grams of carbs. I know. 6 grams of fiber, 16 grams of fat, 5 monounsaturated, 2 polyunsaturated. You get some iron, you get some calcium, at least half of your daily recommended allowance is there. And so potassium is in there as well. So it's very stacked. You're good. That's a full meal. You'll be hungry for several hours and you'll be good to go.
So just real briefly, explain to teens why it is that you actually want protein to balance out your blood sugar. You don't want to, go have a donut for breakfast.
Right. So the thing with donuts is it eventually will be converted into glucose. It'll spike, which is sugar. It'll boost your blood sugar in the bloodstream, spiking the insulin, which will actually get your brain going for the sugar carb cravings all day. So protein will kind of help balance that out and limit that craving that we get for carbs, because that's not going to really sustain you. Protein is everything. It really starts with the blood work, the cells, it really works on a basic metabolic functional level. So protein is like the building blocks for a lot of stuff that your body does. So it's really good for brain health. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got a minute left. What about before a game? I know that's a great breakfast. Would you recommend that if the kids came, a lot of these open campuses and stuff, if they ran home and made something like that, the game starts at like 4 or 5, would you recommend something like that before a game, or this is just more of a power breakfast?
Yeah, I mean, you would probably want to eat it with enough time to digest your food. So,
right.
If game time, if you eat it maybe 2-3 hours before,
right.
you know your body, how quick you can digest. But yeah, right. That would be a crazy pre-workout meal. You would have plenty of energy. That would be awesome for sure. Even post-workout. Yeah, you can really use it interchangeably anytime.
All right. Oh, I love you. I love your stuff. This is awesome. And I love that we're crossing over to food. Get rid of those, those power drinks and all the other crap that's out there for kids. How do we get a hold of you?
You can text me, 805-896-7514.
What do we got? What's up next? You want to say?
Oh, we got a hooga with Dawn Sanders.
Oh, right after these messages, we'll be right back.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
For Teen Sports Radio, I'm Don Sanders, and I'm here to give you a hooga, and that's DonsMassageOhio.com, 805-236-2684. And the hooga is a Scandinavian term for a comfy, cozy feeling, kind of like receiving a hug, only maybe not receiving the actual physical hug. So I talked before about the 4 sufferings that everybody has in life: birth, sickness, old age, and death. And so we're aiming at teens here, yes, and young people, but any stage of the game, these things are relevant because you may get knocked down and have to pick yourself back up again. The only constant is change. We were kind of just talking about that about 5 minutes ago. And so, you just need to, if you're a sapling tree that got planted in the ground, you got a world of potential. We all have a world of potential. We don't even begin to realize how much. And if there's a lot of wind, then you got to give that tree a little stake, a little support, so that it has a chance to keep growing and surviving the elements, etc. So that's friends, that's advisors, that's mentors, that's people that you find that you can trust. And sometimes you'll find, oh, I couldn't trust that one. I better look out for that sort of thing in the future. And so you just keep making your way. And if you find your community, you find your groove, then you can turn into a great big strong tree instead of, the vulnerable little sapling that you once were. So I was reminded this week of Amelia Earhart, who set a record for a transatlantic flight solo all by herself. So moment to moment, we might think, oh, well, yeah, I was prepared for that last thing, but this thing, no, this thing, I don't know about this thing. Imagine if you were just flying over dark ocean water for a long, long time, and you couldn't see anything, and all you had was, trying to have faith that your plane was going to hold up and everything was going to be okay, right? And so a lot of times we feel like that, and hopefully, to any listener here, you're not isolated. Hopefully there's somebody you could talk this stuff over to. But sometimes, whether we like it or not, alone is something will be quite a lot. And so I found this quote from Amelia Earhart. She said, "I learned from pleasant experience that at the most despairing crisis, when all looked sour beyond words, some delightful break was apt to lurk just around the corner."
Yeah, I totally hear that. I think I was actually just speaking to someone yesterday about that because I was feeling emotional and having a hard time. And my friend said, this is Christine Marie, she said, sometimes when things are really at their worst, when you're really feeling frustrated, that's really when they're about to change. And I thought, wow, that makes me think of a wave. When a wave is at its biggest height and right about to break, then it breaks, right? And then it goes back down. So that thank you for that, Don. That's beautiful.
Yeah, well, I think it was you, Christine, who said when we talk about these kind of things, think of it as things are happening for us, not to us.
Oh, yes. All of life is happening for us. Just what do I like to say? There's a card that I like to read about that says, despite any and all appearances to the contrary, all of life is and always has been happening for us, which is that sense that sometimes these hard things are really the things that are helping us grow. They are really these hard things help us grow, and we help us learn to cope and be better human beings no matter what happens. Difficult things always happen. It's how we deal with them. And that's, when you've been talking about the four big things, birth, what did you say? Birth, illness,
sickness, old age, and death.
Birth, sickness, old age, and death. They happen to every one of us. And heartache and frustration and difficult things and also wonderful things and amazing things, and what is that there's that one thing about, there was a king who had asked his advisors to make him cry when he was happy and make him happy when he was sad. And they finally gave him a ring that said, "This too shall pass."
Woo!
Right?
Thank you, Christine. Hey, listen, God bless Santa Barbara. Hug it out. See you next week.